The other thing that our parents were really big on was do not care what anybody else who's not sitting at this table thinks. Mm-hmm. If we ever said somebody said something and it affected the way we behaved, that's when you saw anger from my parents.
That's when you get into trouble.
You got in trouble with my parents when it was crack back right away.
What would they say back?
They would be like, so you're telling me that what whoever this is over here said is more important to you than what you hear around this table, then you can go live with so-and-so.
I mean, if our admonitions in our house were always conversations. Yeah. It was discussions. And you knew when your parents were disappointed. You knew when you had struck a nerve. And it was never about, just making a mistake or, it was about thinking in a way that felt oppressive, internally oppressive. They didn't like that kind of thinking in us. They wanted us to feel our own power. They never wanted us to surrender the way we thought about ourselves to the rest of the world because they probably understood that they couldn't trust the way the rest of the world would treat us, right? So you can't. They knew that we couldn't be so locked into what the world would say because the world was grounded in racism. Yeah. And that, a little black boy, more so, even my brother, they were probably more concerned with him because he was going to encounter it every day as he got taller and bigger and smarter because all of the men in our lives had experienced someone trying to knock them down a peg or two. I think our parents understood that that was waiting for both of us, and it was waiting for my brother in particular. So they wanted to arm him with enough self-esteem to fill him up at the table where he was safe, to give him the tools to just embed in him a level of empathy so that he wouldn't become angry, because anger for a young black boy was dangerous. Yeah. So there was a real clever way of allowing us to have these conversations, but filling us up with empathy so that we could function in a racist society.
Being underestimated. It's a word that I saw throughout your book, and it's a word you mentioned a second ago.